So another thing that I want to talk about is the voter turnout, the youth demographic over um, for the states that reported, and I'll bring the graphic up on your screen. The states that reported exit polls through June 1st. So it's not all 50 states, but it is about, and this is from the article from the Washington Post, it is about 21 states. And out of those 21 states, those primaries, it shows that Donald Trump actually performed better than Hillary Clinton with the youth vote, with just over 50,000 vote difference. But Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders dwarfed all of them, both of them combined, right? Combine Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, multiply it by, well, no, okay, there you go. Just a little bit over twice. Combine the two of them. You know what I'm saying? My words are a little escaping me. So he didn't not combine, but combine them, and he still has more than both of them. That presents a problem. I need to go back and fix my tweet. I think I said the tweet differently. Oh, well. Like I said, my brain is a little fried today. That one that's problematic for this. It's problematic for this election, especially if the Democratic Party goes underneath the assumption that they're just going to get the youth vote and they're just going to get all of the Bernie Sanders supporters votes. You know, I'm quite sure they're going to do fine. I'm sure they're going to get plenty because Donald Trump is still Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is still somebody that most people will vote against, no matter how bad the Democrat is, including Hillary Clinton. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend as though they're not going to get a large chunk, if probably 80% of this vote. But over time, this presents a huge problem, and rightfully so, and I'm glad it does, presents a huge problem for the Democratic Party because the route and the road that they're going down is not one that the future generations are going to just simply acquiesce to. That's why you're getting more and more people who are registered as independents versus Democrats in the first place, because they don't identify, they don't see what they stand for and what they fight for in the Democratic Party. And this is very prevalent amongst the youth voters. And so while this campaign season is almost come and gone, right, this really presents a problem for the DNC in the future, which is why you see the DNC more willing to double down and to exclude as many people as possible so that they can maintain political power and so that they can control the types of voices that have strength and power in their party. This is why the CBC on yesterday, that's why they are fighting so hard to keep primaries closed, because they know a lot of disillusioned young people are going independent. And this is why one of the reasons I say whether you vote Democratic or whether you ever go to a meeting, in my opinion, the best route is to keep your registration with the Democratic Party so that if and when you're ready to vote some of them out, you'll be able to do it in the primary and not be forced to take whoever they just give you in the primary. Because this is, like somebody tweeted out today that it's a private organization and they should be able to do what they want. Okay, fine. However, the demographics are telling them that you're screwed in the long run if you keep going down this same track. We are watching the realignment. And I've said this some months ago, but this is a realignment, man. This is where Democrats, because of their need to be, what's the word I'm looking for? To be not just different, but to distinguish themselves from their political opponent, they have embraced publicly. I think they've been like this for a while, but now they have publicly embraced right-leaning ideologies, tactics, and practices. And this realignment is happening right before our eyes. This is not the Democratic Party that you remember. This is not the Democratic Party back in the 80s and 70s. Most certainly not the Democratic Party of the 60s. We're dealing with a Democratic Party that's willing to use as many administrative hurdles as possible to keep a certain segment of their voting base from voting. And that's what we saw through this entire primary process. We see hurdle after hurdle being put in front of being able to hear the voices of the community that they ostensibly represent, or that they like to pretend that they represent. But they would never, ever break down the barriers of entry to participate in the political process, particularly in the primaries, if that meant allowing voices that go contrary to the Democratic establishment to get a foothold in their primary system. Never. In other words, they don't want you involved until your choice is Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. Because at that point, they can count on you to vote for Hillary Clinton. And I was thinking about it today. I'm like, man, there was a time where the Democratic Party was the party of populism and the populist movement and the voice of the people. More and more and more now, that's no longer the party. And I know a lot of people are like, well, Ben, that's all the more reason for us to have a third party. Yeah, that's fine if there's a fourth party. If there's not a fourth party, then you don't have a third party, right? It's just not going to work out that way. You know, you can have a third party, but it's going to split the vote. You're going to end up with one. You're going to give the victory over to the other party. And then that one party that you split is going to realign itself to co-opt that third party. Fourth parties, possibly. The point is this. The future of the Democratic Party is such that it's either going to break right in front of them. No, I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. It is already broken apart right in front of them. It really has. And we will see exactly how terrifying they can make Donald Trump to see if the youth vote goes towards Hillary Clinton regardless. But looking at the demographics, and I'll pull it back up on your screen because I think it can't be overstated. Look at the number of young people who supported Bernie Sanders over and above Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump combined. And a lot of people are trying to make it seem like Hillary Clinton is the future of the Democratic Party and the Hillary Clinton alliances and coalition is the future of the Democratic Party. No. Bernie Sanders, his coalition and the progressive movement, that is the future of the Democratic Party. That is the future of, let me say that again. That's the future of left-leaning politics in America, whether it's a part of a party or what or not.